Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this here tropical update for July 8th. We're currently watching tropical depression Beryl, currently over Texas, making its way towards Louisiana and Arkansas, and then into the rest of the United States. I decided not to draw the impact map out today. We are at moderate impacts in terms of flooding and tornadoes, no longer storm surge and no longer winds either. So these are our current impacts. As you can see, Beryl looking like a tropical depression, kind of depressing satellite presentation over the United States now. It made landfall as a hurricane early this morning, Category 1, winds around 80 miles per hour. From there, it moved just to the west of Houston by about 20 miles or so, I think. And so that brought a lot of rain and storm surge into the area. We'll still see how bad the impacts were. Of course, it was probably worse when it was in the Caribbean. Here is the impact chart. Again, the main threats at this point are now flooding and tornadoes. That storm surge value should be 0 now. The National Hurricane Center stating that storm surge is no longer a concern, and the storm surge watches and warnings have been dropped along with them. Now that Beryl is a tropical depression, those tropical storm watches, warnings, hurricane watches, warnings, all of those have been discontinued as well. Nonetheless, the main point at now is the tornado watches and warnings and the flash flood watches and warning. Let's talk about flash flooding. This Weather Prediction Center calling for a moderate risk of flooding over Louisiana and Arkansas, a slight risk of flooding up into Indiana, I believe, and then a marginal risk into places like Michigan and Ohio. And so we'll continue to monitor that. As you can see, the bulk of the rain will be on the north side of the storm, but the bulk of the tornado threat will be to the south and east of the storm. As you can see, the Storm Prediction Center with a 10% chance of tornadoes today. Most of that has already occurred, but still 10% chance of tornadoes today. We'll continue to monitor overnight tonight as it moves through Arkansas, and then kind of basically it's going to move in a line with the shield of the storm. So if the storm's here, and really from your guys' perspective, I guess I should do it this way. If the storm's here, then no, I was right. If the storm's here and if the storm's here and out here are the outer bands of the storm, you'll see as the outer bands move this way, that is through Arkansas this way, and then down the Ohio River through Illinois, Indiana, and then into Ohio, and then into Pennsylvania. That's as the storm is moving this way, that kind of leading edge right here on this side of the storm, that is on the northeast side of the storm, will be where those tornadoes are most possible at. And so we'll continue to monitor that threat. Several tornadoes have already been reported. This is the final tropical update on Beryl. I think, unless something crazy happens with tornadoes tomorrow or something like that, this will be the final update, which means we will resume tropical updates next time we have a tropical threat in the Atlantic or Pacific. That's all for now. Chris Dixon, InfoWeather Media.